Hold up, crypto fam. John Deaton just dropped an absolute nuke on the crypto space, and if you're holding XRP, you need to hear this right now. We're talking about a potential $100 billion valuation for Ripple, institutional money flooding in like a tsunami, and the SEC case that's about to flip the entire crypto world upside down. I'm talking about moves so massive that even the whales are getting FOMO. Are we witnessing the setup for the most explosive crypto IPO in history? Or is this just another hopium injection? Drop your wildest predictions in the comments. Welcome back to the channel where we serve the hottest crypto alpha to our crypto fam family. If this is your first time here, smash that subscribe button because you're about to get the full insider breakdown that the mainstream media won't dare touch. Now let's dive deep into this absolute chaos that's unfolding in the XRP ecosystem, because what's happening right now is setting up to be legendary. First, let's talk about the elephant in the room that's got everyone buzzing. John Deaton, the pro-XRP lawyer who's been absolutely demolishing the SEC's arguments, just made some predictions that have the entire crypto community losing their minds. He's looking at Circle's performance post-IPO and connecting dots that most people are completely missing. Here's where it gets absolutely wild. Circle managed to hit a market cap between $62 to $75 billion after going public. Now, Deaton is basically saying hold my coffee, because he believes Ripple could absolutely crush those numbers with a $100 billion market cap target. Think about that for a second. We're not talking about some moonshot altcoin here. We're talking about a company that's already sitting on nearly 40 billion XRP tokens currently valued around $2 each. But here's what makes this even more compelling. Ripple isn't desperate for cash like most companies rushing to IPO. They just dropped $700 million on a share buyback program. Let me repeat that, $700 million in buybacks. Companies don't throw around that kind of money unless they're absolutely confident about their future trajectory. The moves Ripple's been making lately are straight-up chessmaster level strategy. They dropped $1.25 billion to acquire Hidden Road, a prime brokerage firm, and another $250 million for Medico, a custody provider. These aren't random acquisitions, fam. This is vertical integration at its finest. They're building an empire while everyone else is still playing checkers. Now let's address the timing aspect because this is where things get absolutely fascinating. Brad Garlinghouse and Monica Long have been crystal clear. No IPO happening in 2025. But here's the thing about timing in crypto. It's everything. Smart money doesn't rush into opportunities. They position themselves strategically and then strike when the market conditions are perfect. What's got me completely bullish on this whole situation is the institutional interest that's quietly building behind the scenes. Vivo Power just threw $121 million into XRP for their treasury. That's not play money, that's institutional validation. When publicly traded companies start using XRP as a treasury asset, that's when you know the smart money is already positioning for what's coming next. The price action might look boring right now with XRP trading around that $2 range, but veteran crypto analysts know that sideways action often precedes the most explosive moves. Remember Bitcoin's consolidation phases before its legendary runs? The pattern recognition here is absolutely textbook. What makes this story even more incredible is the legal backdrop that's finally shifting in Ripple's favor. The SEC case that's been dragging on forever is showing signs of resolution faster than anyone expected. Legal expert Bill Morgan is suggesting Judge Torres could act way sooner than the August 15th deadline everyone's been focused on. Think about the psychology here for a moment. The crypto market just survived another geopolitical scare with the Iran situation, and altcoins like XRP showed incredible resilience during the recovery. That's not accident. That's institutional money providing support levels that didn't exist in previous cycles. The joint filing between Ripple and the SEC to lift the injunction limiting XRP sales is basically the final boss battle in this regulatory saga. Once that gets resolved, Ripple goes from being a company fighting for survival to a company positioned for absolute domination in the institutional payments space. Here's my personal take on why this matters so much more than people realize. The traditional financial system is slowly acknowledging that blockchain technology isn't going anywhere. When that shift happens completely, companies like Ripple that have been building real utility while others were chasing hype are going to be positioned perfectly to capture massive market share. The 700 million share buyback isn't just financial engineering. It's a signal to the market that Ripple believes their current valuation is massively undervalued. Companies don't buy back shares unless they're confident the market will eventually recognize their true worth. Drop a comment below and let me know. Do you think DEATON'S $100 billion prediction is realistic, or is this just lawyer hopium? Because personally, when I look at the infrastructure they've built, the partnerships they've secured, and the regulatory clarity that's finally coming, I think that might actually be conservative. The institutional hiring spree for corporate development and investor relations roles isn't coincidental either. You don't staff up those departments unless you're preparing for major corporate events. The writing is on the wall for anyone paying attention. What's absolutely fascinating is how this potential IPO timing aligns with the broader crypto market cycle. If Ripple goes public during the next major crypto bull run with full regulatory clarity, the valuation multiples could be absolutely astronomical. The partnership with Flare blockchain for yield generation shows they're not just sitting on their XRP holdings, they're actively working to create additional value streams. That's the kind of strategic thinking that separates successful companies from the ones that fade into obscurity. Alright crypto fam, let's wrap this up because my brain is absolutely buzzing from connecting all these dots. We've got a potential $100 billion IPO brewing, institutional money flooding in, legal clarity on the horizon, and price action that's primed for explosive moves. The game is changing right in front of our eyes. While everyone else is chasing the latest meme coin, Ripple is quietly building the infrastructure for the next phase of crypto adoption. Whether you're holding XRP or just watching from the sidelines, this story is going to be one for the history books. Massive shout out to everyone in the crypto fam community for staying engaged and keeping the discussion alive. Your comments and insights make these videos so much better, and I genuinely appreciate every single one of you who takes the time to share your thoughts. If you want to stay ahead of moves like this, make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, because the crypto space moves fast, and the alpha doesn't wait for anyone. Check out my previous video on institutional crypto adoption patterns, and I'll catch you in the next one, where we're diving deep into the next major catalyst that could send shockwaves through the entire market. Peace out crypto fam, and remember, fortune favors the bold. This video is purely for entertainment purposes and educational discussion. Nothing here should be considered investment advice of any kind. Always do your own research and make informed decisions.